people. Yesterday, the Minister of Interior said there are 10,000 for all France. That's a low number, but they are very violent. And you have a lot of young that are around and they feel strong. They feel stronger because there is this happening, and they try to steal in shops that are broken. So it's creating a global atmosphere of very high tension.
Let's head into our first story today, and it's a big one coming from France. Those are the sounds of rioting in France over the killing of a 17-year-old boy by police. They're continuing into the fourth day. Just over 1,300 people have been arrested, and demonstrations are taking place in Marseille, in Lyon, Grenoble, and some parts of Paris. Rioters across the country have set cars and buildings ablaze and looted stores. Some 45,000 police officers have been deployed to quench the troubles. Let's welcome to the show Fabienne Keller, a former mayor of the northeastern French city of Strasbourg and MEP. Fabienne, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Hello.
Fabienne, tell us, at the moment we've heard that some of the troubles have died down, but still quite a lot happening.
Yes, it's a drama in France, a very difficult situation. The young Naël died on Tuesday, and since then the nights are very difficult in several cities. As you may have seen some images with people trying to destroy, actually, public buildings and being really very dangerous, but also young people around, people trying to take from different shops some goods because they broke the windows of the shop. And so it's a really very troubled situation. And the highest priority, as said yesterday by our Prime Minister, Elisabeth Borne, is to re-establish the Republican order. The calm in the public space and the rules being applied.
Fabienne, this is the third killing this year during a police traffic stop. And this has followed a record 13 deaths last year. Do you think the fact that this isn't just a one-off tragic event, though it is, are people worried that police officers, with new laws that have been given to them on traffic stops and carrying weapons on traffic stops, people are genuinely worried about what they're seeing?
Yes, this is the source of the incredible tension we are living those last 3 days. It's this feeling of a part of the population to be aside, different, and may be killed because they did not accept to stop when a policeman asked them to stop, which is, of course, the rule, but nobody has to die because he refused to do what the policeman asked for. I must say that very solemnly yesterday, our Minister of Justice, Éric Dupond-Moretti, recalled that the procureur in France decided to put the policeman in jail and to put a mandate on him on voluntary homicide, which the two judges who were designed yesterday, I think, confirmed. So this is an individual policeman case, and he has the right to defend himself. I think the only things he has said up to now is that he feels very bad, and because it's a drama, so he's conscious of the fact he did something that was killing a young boy. But this does not mean that we should, extend that to all the policemen. Most of them are great people. There is an inspection in the police. Whenever there is some behavior of policemen that should not happen, they inquire. on what happened, and there are different levels of mistakes and measures that are taken against them. So I think we have to explain that. We can be confident in the justice in France. It's independent, it's working well, but it takes more time than the emergency we are in today. So what, as many other elected people, I could ask or everyone as an appeal is each of us doing his part, parents keeping the kids at home, people that are in charge of collective issues to try to discuss with people who have anger because of this young boy death, and try to calm down and let the police handle with the very, very violent people. Yesterday, the Minister of Interior said there are 10,000 for all France. That's a low number, but they are very violent. And you have a lot of young that are around, and they feel strong. They feel stronger because there is this happening, and they try to steal in shops that are broken. So it's creating a global atmosphere of very high tension.
Fabienne, President Macron has accused some of the protesters of exploiting the teenager's death. And as you mentioned there, he's been urging parents to keep their children at home. However, I want to ask you this. Many people are pointing to this tragic event and saying, look, it's not just the powers that police have been given fairly recently about traffic stops, but also that people of North African, I should say, heritage have been unfairly targeted or targeted more than others. How much of what we're seeing goes back to racial tensions? There is the issues with racism in France.
We have very probably to work on all those issues. I am specialized in the issue of difficult suburbs, and there is a feeling of the youth. They are not totally considered as French, even though they've born in France and have been grown up in French schools. As you know, in this very Republican system we have in France, we don't have community schools. We are trying to put really everybody in the same system, but they feel they are controlled more than they should because they have some racial difference. This is an issue we have to discuss about. It's clearly important, but today we are in an emergency. We have to target first the issue of bringing the calm back, and then we will have to, for example, work on the question of the relation between those young, mainly boys, I must say, growing in the suburbs, most of them in the difficult suburbs, and their relation with the police. They are protecting Republic, the police. The young people have to understand that, to respect them, to know about their method. Probably we have not enough put energy and time and means in building that relation of confidence. And I must say, sometimes between the professors in the school, where they do totally the job, and the policemen, there should be more people involved in, being on the side of the teenagers with rules, but also with this positive regard for a young that is, not knowing exactly who is going to be, what his future is made of. So this is an important issue. We know that for long, but we have to invest more in that.
Finally, do you think that we might see a change to this controversial law, which gives the right to armed police to fire upon citizens if they refuse to stop at a traffic stop? The left-wing politician Jean-Luc Mélenchon has denounced this right as a right to kill law. Do you think that President Macron will be forced to have another look at that law?
Probably he will have to have a look at that law, but I think it's totally irresponsible from Mr. Mélenchon, a politician, to point a law as a reason for this drama that happened. I heard yesterday a former Director General of the police. He said, I was trained for years with a gun, but I never used it in all my careers. And he was at the end the Director General. So the issue is for policemen to feel and to be protected by the fact, in case that are in fact very rare, but in case they are directly attacked, they can use it. As you know, they can use it only in legitimate defense when they feel they risk their own life. But this means that you have to have, you have a half a second to think about it. You have to master yourself, to be trained a lot. And we will see with the very specific case of the policeman who is in jail now, but probably did not have all the experience and that is needed when you carry a gun. So I think it's very dangerous from Mr. Mélenchon. He does it on purpose. I must say that we see, for example, now demonstrations. We had one in my city yesterday night against the police. This is not the time for that. Mm. There will be a time for discussions, but now we have to be all on the side of our teenagers, on the side of the shops that the employees of the shops that are who are shocked, and recall the general rules of the living together, what is the ground of our democracy.
Okay. Fabienne, thank you so much for giving us your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fabienne Keller, the former mayor of Strasbourg and MEP